Parshas Vayeishev, Tavshin Ayin Vav. We're here now just a few days before Hanukkah. As we always say, the year just speeds along. We start Chumash Vayeishev, and before we know it, this week already, we are in Mitzrayim. And as fast as it goes, you know that it just keeps on picking up speed. And Vayeishev, the Seder Vayeishev will be over in just a couple of weeks. But first, next week, we have a special Chanukah Shiur coming up. The Shiur on Parshas Vayeishev will be a special Chanukah Shiur. So we're all looking forward to that. This week's Parshas Vayeishev, the Yisrael Ohav Es Yosef Mikol Bonav. Yaakov Avinu, the Torah tells us, liked Yosef more than all his other children. And Bechlal, this whole Parsha of Yosef and the Shvatim selling Yosef is one of those Parshas in the Torah that are very, very difficult to actually understand. And of course, we cannot begin to comprehend it just on a very elementary level. These Parshas are full of things and midrashim, and the way to actually understand it is not, of course, just reading the words and understanding it the way we would understand people today. The Shvatim were on an extremely, extremely high level, and Yosef, they felt that Yosef needed to be sold. But what happened? The reason it all came about is because of the way they saw that Yaakov dealt with Yosef. So it says that Yaakov liked Yosef, that Yaakov Avinu made for Yosef a special garment. And the pasuk continues, Vayiru Echav, the brothers saw, Ki Oisoi Yohav Avihem Mikol Echav. The brothers saw that Yaakov Avinu liked Yosef HaTzadik more than all the other brothers, Vayisnu Oisoi. And if we could use the word, the translation of the word Vayisnu Oisoi, that they hated Yosef for it. So Rashi brings down the Targum Onkelos on Ben Zekunim. What is Ben Zekunim? So Rashi brings down that Bar Chakim Hu Lei, that Yosef was to Yaakov in other words, a smarter son, a very wise. So the Nesivos Shalom tells us that Rashi means that the Torah that Yaakov Avinu had acquired in the yeshiva Shem Ve'ever, you know who he gave it over to? He gave it over to Yosef, and Yosef became a Bar Chakim. Yosef became the smart son. And what exactly does that mean, asks the Nesivos Shalom? Why did Yaakov do that? And so to speak, why did he add to the hate and jealousy that the Shvatim had for Yosef? Is the Torah telling us a negative thing, Chas v'Shalom, here about Yaakov Avinu? The Torah says that Yaakov Avinu he only gave Yosef. Why would the Torah go through and tell us all these things? The Torah wouldn't go and tell us a negative thing about Yaakov Avinu. Another question asked in the Nesivos Shalom is that we know, everybody knows what happened, that Yosef had a dream. And what happened? Yosef told the dream over to his brothers. And what happened after that? The brothers disliked Yosef for the dream that he had. So, frek the Nesivos Shalom. Why would Yosef go back after the second dream that he had? Why would he go back for more? He saw what kind of reaction that they had to the first dream. Why would Yosef, after the second dream, go back for more and tell Yaakov in the Shvatim, why would he tell them something that would clearly disturb them greatly? Why would he do that? So the Nesivos Shalom brings from the Divrei Shmuel on the pasuk in next week's Parsha. And with this concept, the Nesivos Shalom wants to answer all the questions that we just had on this episode of Yosef and the Shvatim. The Divrei Shmuel says on the pasuk in Parshas Vayeishev, the pasuk says when Yosef was meeting back with his brothers after so many years of not seeing them, the pasuk tells us that they all came to Yosef, and Yosef HaTzadik wanted to cry. And the pasuk tells us, Vayis apak, that Yosef held himself back, and the pasuk is talking there from becoming emotional in front of his brothers, from crying. Vayis apak, vayomer simu lochem. Yosef held himself back from crying, and then he said to his servants, he told them, simu lochem, put out bread, put out food for the shvatim. Yosef himself held himself back, right? And he said, put out bread for his brothers. We can say on that pasuk, says in the Nesivos Shalom from the Divrei Shmuel, that when, a very important lesson, he says, when one holds themselves back from filling their taivas, you know what happens? Vayis apak, that lashon of vayis apak, a person holds himself back, a person has a taiva for something, and you hold yourself back, you know what Hashem says? By Yomer, Hashem says, simu lachem. In other words, Hashem says, oh, you're holding yourself back from following through with the taiva that you had. Hashem says, simu lachem, give, Hashem, I'm going to give you your parnasa, and I'm going to give you your needs. When a person goes ahead and holds himself back, Vayisapak, he held himself back, Vayomer simu lachem. And he explains that, he says, a drush on this pasuk, that's what causes Hashem to go ahead and give. He says, here, look, a person is giving up from a share of pleasure in this world, from following through with a taiva. So you know what Hashem says? You held back, I'm going to fill that void, so to speak. I'm going to fill that void in a way. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, I'm going to give you everything good. I'm going to give you bread. I'm going to give you your parnasa. I'm going to give you your sustenance. And that all comes in the schus of a person thinking about and conquering and holding himself back from following through with his taivas. Yosef, we know, especially you learn through the beautiful midrashim on the parsha, and all the mefarshim on this week's parsha, Yosef, we know, represents the epitome of holding back taivas. And we know from the stories at the end of the parsha that Yosef, by holding back his taivas, said in Nesivos Shalom, Yosef caused a big shefa of bracha to Klal Yisrael for doing what he did and for showing us the way, both in Ruchnius and in Gashmius. And there's a bracha of Gashmius and a shefa Ruchni that opens up a person to Torah v'avodah. And that's what Yosef showed us, that when you hold yourself back, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu, so to speak, opens the floodgates, and you get this shefa of Gashmius, of Ruchnius, and your mind opens up where you can perform more mitzvahs than Torah v'avodah. And that was the kavana, says in Nesivos Shalom. That was the kavana of Yaakov Avinu by singling out Yosef. We wanted to know, what was Yaakov Avinu doing over here? Didn't he know what it might cause? Why was Yaakov Avinu singling out Yosef? So you know why. Yaakov Avinu was singling out Yosef to show a special love for Yosef, to show the Shvatim that this is the way of fighting off your taivas. This is the way to be successful in Gashmias and Ruchnias. In order for the Shvatim to have all the brachas that they were going to have later in life, this is the way to attain it. And that was the midah Sayesoi, that was the midah of Yosef. And Yaakov Avinu singled out Yosef to show the Shvatim. You see the way Yosef is doing it, the way Yosef conducts himself, the way Yosef behaves, that is the way in life. And that is the way you're going to be zoicha to brachas. And Yaakov Avinu was actually confident that the Shvatim would accept this lesson and they would understand this lesson. How it turned out at the end may have worked out a little bit different. But Yaakov Avinu felt that this is a message that the Shvatim had to get. So Yaakov Avinu also made Yosef a kesoines pasim to show that Yosef alone is wearing the clothing of godless. Yosef alone, Yosef is the one who has this midah of not following through on all your taivas, not carrying through, of holding yourself back. Yosef HaTzadik alone is the one who is zeicha to wear this mantle of godless. Therefore, Yaakov Avinu made for Yosef a kesoines pasim. And Yosef is the one that they were supposed to look to and to emulate. And Yosef was the one that would bring them the taka, the bracha, and the shefa, and all the things later on in life for Klal Yisrael. Yosef was the one who was going to show them the way how to attain that. And this was also the cheshbon of Yosef. We wanted to know, Yosef, why did you go ahead and tell the brothers and why you told the Shvatim and Yaakov Avinu, why did you go ahead and tell them about the second dream? The first dream clearly disturbed the Shvatim very, very much. And it bothered them. So Yosef went back for more. Why did he go back and do the second dream? You know why? He's up to Nesivos Shalom. He wanted them to connect with and respect everything that he represents. Yosef said over both dreams, because one dream, in the one dream of the bundles, where the bundles were bowing down to the bundle of Yosef, that represented the inyanim of Gashmias. The bundles, the wheat, all that shows sustenance and plenty of food and plenty of those things, all things Gashmias, and all that was bowing down to Yosef to show that Gashmias will come in the schus of following in the ways of Yosef. So Yosef told them over that dream, because Gashmias was totally and following Yosef's midah. And the second dream of the sun and the moon and the stars, that shows that the koiches of Shamayim, all the things up there, all the things of Ruchnias, all those things too are toloi and following the midah of Yosef. So Yosef couldn't get away by just telling them one dream. And although it may have been painful for the brothers, although it wasn't the easiest thing for the Shvatim to hear, or for Yaakov Avinu, but Yosef Avinu, I keep saying Yosef Avinu, but Yosef was following through with his message that Sai Gashmias and Sai Ruchnias is totally in this. And for many reasons, Hashem took the course of events a little bit in a different direction. Things didn't work out exactly as we thought that they may work out, but maybe we'll discuss that at a different time. We don't have time in this week's shiur to discuss exactly how it followed through. But the lesson, though, remains. The lesson remains that we need to know that the midah of Yosef, that when a person has taivas, and a person has things that they think that they really want, or things that we think that are really good, that you have no idea what a tremendous chus it is for the person, and what tremendous schar is waiting for you if a person holds back. And it's tough to make these kabbalas and say, I'm going to do it always in my life, I'm never going to give in to any taivas. But each little thing that a person does, a person is faced with different little challenges every day. Every day, we wake up in the morning, you never know that day the challenges that you'll face. But if you take each little test and you say, this time I'm not going to do it. This time I'm not going to go ahead and do something which might be wrong, might be something which is bending the truth, might be something which is a little bit of a taiva that normally I have trouble controlling. This time I'm not going to do it. You have no idea. The message of Yosef is telling us that all the brachas, Sayav Ruchnias, and Sayav Gashmias, all the brachas that are waiting for a person, a big, big conduit to these brachas, a big, big thing in the way of earning parnasa, of earning brachas, of earning that your heart should open up Torah to tefillah, Torah ba'avodah, comes with this, with the lesson of Yosef. And that is the lesson, beginning of this week's parsha. You read about the dreams, you read about selling Yosef Mitzrayim, you read about all the things that were in the dreams. There's a message here from the Nesivos Shalom, and it's a very beautiful message.